Okay, so we're taking a trip. This is South Windsor, or this whole area on here. People probably know they live here, but like around like Dominion all the way to Huron Church is actually Dougal, sorry, to Huron Church. This coming up is Dominion. And this is Grand Mayor's Ditch. And I remember my mom bought me this Blue Jay hat. And if you go in the ditch, you literally can like, you know, we used to cross the ditch to go to school. But you can go in there, you can jump it. So it was like, you know, one of those like daredevil things. You can't jump it. I'm like, yeah, I can. So I went down there and I went to jump it, and I jumped it, but my hat blew off my head and fell in the ditch, and it starts going down. I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm running after, then I'm like kind of like leaning on the side trying to reach and get it. I do too far a reach, and my body rolls in. Boom, boom, splash. Grab the hat, get out. Just puking. Embarrassing, man. That was it. Right here, I'll show you. Right up here. So we took this is the route we would take. Come up this way here, we're taking the back way. But we come up this way here, come through here, and then we'll walk up this way right here, and then if you walk straight down that way, my elementary school is right there. Prior to this elementary school, and we'll go there after, but prior to the elementary school, I was at a Christian school that my mom's, you know, close friend, aka my aunt, basically ran. So we got to go to the school for like nothing. It was a private Christian school. I'll show you how, because we moved here from the West End, Windsor. And when we moved up here, it almost felt like everybody had everything, you know, that kind of thing. So right here is my old house, right here. Skyline Drive. Imagine I could imagine Christmas. Hey man, can I come out and say what's up? That's my old street. This tree wasn't here before. That garage wasn't there. They made that garage. And then there used to be bushes right there on the side, and it looks like the damn driveway is the same. But that's where I grew up, in that house part where I grew up. And my dad worked at a factory, and I'm talking like, you know, he worked his ass off 60 hours plus a week so we can live in this area. So we were blessed. These are like, you know, they're not the biggest houses, but like the area you live in. You'll see the difference I'm talking about when we go back to my first house my grandfather built. As a kid, I was in the 4th grade when we moved up here. 3rd or 4th grade, we moved up here. And then you're looking, you know, I remember when I first went to the elementary school up here, I was I met my boy Thomas. He called me an Oreo. Was it Oreo or coconut? You call me an Oreo. Was it Oreo? It was Oreo. Yeah. He's an Oreo. And we've been friends ever since. I'm like, yeah, he's the only brother here too, right? So this is one of the ways up here to my school, but here it is. Like looking at it now, like coming back and looking at all this right now, you kind of like have this like flashback, like you get it. You're like, I can see why. I used to rollerblade right here on that curb over there. Yeah, I was a fruit booter. I was sick too. But you kind of like look back, you're like, you see like how different of a life you were living within a bunch of different other lives that really, you know, couldn't necessarily even relate at all. And the only ones who can relate are the ones who look like you, who are in a place like this, who are like, hey man, I don't really have as much of these guys either. So you'd have this kind of like want to like be, you know, part of it, and want to, you know, you want to like literally just live this life, you know. So this is Glenwood Elementary School, and this is what school I went to, my elementary school. And I think I was only black kid in my class, and this wasn't here. This driveway was there before. It was all connected. And this is the high school, the feeder high school. So it was right here. So if you went to this school here, you were supposed to go to Massey. And my mom's like, nope. My mom's a reverend. We're going to a Catholic school. I was supposed to go to Herman, but we ended up going to Holy Names, and we're going to go there next. But let's get a shot of this, man. This is nuts. How many fights did I get in this school? I remember all this is crazy. Dang, look at this, man. Holy Massey's connected like this. So you walked all the way back here and you smoked. That's what you did. You go all the way back here. Welcome back to school. Wow, it sucks. I remember when Drew, were you there when I came with like half of my school to fight? Who was it? Sean? What was his name?
I remember hearing something about it, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, I came here, like I remember someone was like, yeah, it wasn't Johnny either, it was Shreve. Shreve's gonna fight so-and-so. And heard about it. So yeah, it is nuts. Like, I remember I came up here, literally, I remember I walked all the way here from my high school. And literally, I remember turning around, and then I had been like 50 kids just waiting for me to fight somebody. And the fight never even happened. The cops were there. By the time I got there was already cops there. The principal was called. You know, I was a little shit. I wasn't really picking fights, but I found myself always fighting. I was just a disturbed, you know, I'll say disturbed. I would say more so just confused. Confused and just, you know, I just didn't know how to regulate my emotions and whatnot. Just, you know, going from a very poor place to a very, you know, wealthy area. So my last year, I probably told this story when my mom caught me at a dance, and then I had to choose between playing the last championship game with Moose Lodge football team, or playing elementary school sports, and I chose to play sports instead. Watch that video, it's pretty funny. But I ended up winning the Athlete of the Year award, split it with my boy Matt Ballmer. So if you watch this, Matty, what's up? Well, we split the award. We got it, we won. We played the most, we played every sport and excelled in all of them. And then that was my last, you know, that was it. So I finished off in this school with okay grades, but great athleticism, you know, an athletic career. And I was, you know, right then and there, I was like, I'm gonna be a professional football player. That was in my head, that coming out of this school, I was gonna be a professional football player. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And in my head, that was what I was gonna be. And everything in my life surrounded around becoming a football player in the NFL. And then, obviously, you know the story. I ended up being an NFL football player. But I don't know, man, just looking at this and it's cool to come back and just see how far he came. Because from like a confused ass kid, you know, just trying to fit in desperately to where I'm at now is just, you know, it's crazy to think about. And that's light years ago. So, yeah, it's cool as shit. So we used to walk from my school down here for lunch and get, and there used to be a Little Caesars right here. And all the kids would get Little Caesars. It was like $5 for, it was like $5 for just crazy bread and crazy sauce, or like $7 for a slice and crazy bread and crazy sauce. And I would like try my best to like try and like mooch off as much as I could to get some of that. So I would sometimes get like $5 here and there and be able to get it. Or no word, sorry guys. You know, total transparency. Let's take a couple bucks on my dad's wallet. Didn't think he would know. He'd have stacks in there. Like my dad would be working, you know, at Kelsey Hayes or whatever, at a factory all night, and then he would go do do someone's lawn. He'd be like cutting like everybody's grass or doing some kind of extra work and then just get, you know, cash. You know, dad always have cash, always. So I'll kind of, you know, every once in a while, pull a little bit out, give myself, you know, crazy bread. And then when I got older, it ended up being alcohol. Y'all like, yo, Shreve was a piece of shit. So this is Dominion, and we are headed down to my high school. And this is like, man, remember in high school here's the thing about high school. I had fun. My high school career was dope. I don't get, literally, it was like, I'll tell you now, if we had Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, we had ICQ. Remember ICQ? We had ICQ. Ow! You had ICQ. Back, it was a platform. It had like, your username was like 95 letters and numbers mixed, or I think numbers or whatever, and you couldn't just find anybody. You had to like, yo, what's your username? It was like X765Z79W, whatever, and you're like, all right, and you get it wrong half the time. It wasn't like before, like if you tried to meet girls, not happening. If you couldn't find them, couldn't see them, wasn't happening. Here, you can be like, man, you see that girl the other day? What do you mean, the blonde one? Who'd you hang out with? I don't know, I think the girl's name is Christine. Look up Christine, Facebook, there she is. That's how quick it is. Now it's like, you know, anyway. So, it's true, man. It's so true. So this is where, like, you know, I really try to find myself in high school. Because now we're in a school, it's like, we're in a Catholic school. So the difference between Catholic schools and public schools and private schools in Windsor or Ontario is basically there's a little more funding, I think, for Catholic schools. Public schools, not as much, but still, you know, pretty good, whatever. And then your private schools are private schools. But this school, damn, this was it. It was one of the, you know, wealthier schools in the area. This area itself in general is wealthy. What's dope about this is, you know, continuing my football journey. I got to this school when the team was not good at all. And they didn't win anything for a while, the junior team, and then when I got to this school and played, we won. And we didn't win the championship, we ended up being like third place, second place, but it was the start of, you know, my, you know, football notoriety in a sense. And one year, it was 1999, we played our first season as a senior, and we played, and we called it a Newman or Division League. And the Newman League and the Wilson League. And the Newman was apparently the better one, and the Wilson was a crappier one. And we ended up going like 1-8. And our coach, you know, took myself, one of the, you know, the captains and the rest of the team, and was like, look, we can drop down to the Wilson division and we can, you know, get better, or we can get up here, we can stay in the Newman and slowly climb and get better. And we're like, and I was like, no, man, we're staying here. And we all agreed as a collective group of kids to stay at the school, and now Holy Names is one of the best high school football teams in Canada. So this is my high school career in a nutshell. I could play 7 instruments. I'm on the football team. I'm doing acting. I'm in the drama, you know, drama club, doing, you know, plays. And then I'm also getting expelled for fighting and, you know, a bunch of other bullshit. So the teachers here, you know, my principal, my coaches were adamant at keeping me, like, they're like, this kid's talented. If you just direct this kid, you know, he can, you know, he'll do some good. And, you know, they gave me so many chances, but they understood, they got it. I remember one year, my coach saw a bunch of cuts on my arm, and I was like, you know, football practice and stuff, and I was like, you know, it got in fight with the cat, bullshit. And then one day, I was in the office and I just broke down. I was in the principal's office, actually in there, with Coach Lapine, Mr. Racine. I'm pretty sure Coach Mack was there, and I was like, I need help. That was in high school. You know, I was coming to I was in the 12th grade, and that's when I really started knowing something about like my mental health and whatnot. So I actually went and started to seek help that way. But unfortunately at the time, you know, if it's, you know, this is modern day now, and look how much help there is here. But unfortunately at the time then, you know, I'm from a very religious family, so we prayed everything away. You know what I mean? So, you know, can't blame my parents for doing what they do, doing what they thought was best. But that continued, that kind of lifestyle for me continued. So when I graduated from here, I had scholarships coming out. The guy behind the camera ended up going to Syracuse University, going to the CFL, probably could have been the NFL, but, you know, I watched all of my friends get those letters, commit. And I had letters and couldn't commit to anywhere because I'd have the grades, I'd have the, you know, I just didn't have the resources in a sense to be able to go because I was acting up. And that lifestyle for me continued all the way up until I got to Nova Scotia 15 years ago. Then there's a 5-year of football, and then 10 years ago today is when I decided I would bodybuild. So right now, 10 years ago, I'm in Nova Scotia getting ready for my first show, and that's when that saga happens. So that's like, this is where it all began right here, which is pretty crazy. You know, just kind of like finding myself, knowing that I can do so many different things, but I didn't have the self-control, I didn't have the, you know, the mental awareness to be able to understand that, you know, to fix certain things in my life, to be able to continue to the goals that I wanted to. But again, I was 17. I was 17 years old trying to figure my shit out. Like, what's that? Oh my God, 17 is like 21 years ago. Oh God, oh my God, shit. 21 years ago, I was trying to figure my shit out. And I finally figured my shit out. 21 years later, here I am. You know what I mean? But you gotta check this football field out, because this is, I would say for sure, I had every part of that field being here. And everyone who went to this school will 100% agree with that, because it wasn't for myself and a collective group of guys that play at this school. And we were not like, it was myself, we had some really good athletes, but we had some really, really good, hard-ass working kids. Mix of like football players, hockey players. Our kicker was a soccer player, you know what I mean? And you know, we went from losing every year to finally winning. My last year, we lost the championship to Herman. And then, you know, after that, I came back and helped coach, and we won the first championship. And then after that, it was championship after championship after championship after championship. And for the last, I think, decade, this school has been one of the best schools. Not even last decade, the last damn 20 years, this school has been one of the best football schools, high schools in Canada. So, Holy Names High School, Holy Names Knights. Let me see this, man. You're gonna bust your ass.
I ain't got the right shoes on.
No, you ain't got the right shoes on.
Right shoes on.
Okay, whatever, man. Yo, you really trying to hop this motherfucking dog? No. I know, yo. Yo, none of this was here. This was a dirty ass field, bumps everywhere. Like, put it this way, this is what the field looked like before. That's what the field looked like. That's exactly what the field looked like, but worse, with 2 goalposts. And then that's the house behind here. And this is why are we walking in the dirt for? Now this is what we got. I think it's like a $2.3 or $3 million project here for this field. Field turf, like this field is better than my university field. Like, when you leave Windsor, you don't realize until you look back of how serious athletics were here. Like, serious. I'm talking like, you know, Tyrone Crawford's from here, you know, not from the school, but like, you know, from playing the same, you know, league. Luke Wilson, OJ Togway, Thomas Whitfield. There's a bunch of names out there that are, you know, Jason Spence went to my high school, you know what I mean? We sat in the same class. Well, I would actually go into his class when he was in foods and eat cookies and shit. But that was it, man. Like we had serious talent around that had this dream to become a, you know, professional football player, basketball player, soccer player. Our team played in the Detroit Catholic Central League and played against, you know, schools in the States. But like, this is like, I just want to play right quick on this, man. Right? Example of what it was like. You build it, they will come. Look at these kids. It's Christmas Day out here playing. I'm not talking playing. These kids are good. This kid's good. I don't know what the hell he's even doing, but he's sick. How old is this kid? How old are you? Hey, big guy, how old are you? 12 years old, man. Out here getting better. When's people hungry, man? Hungry to make it. Everybody that has left this city made it. Literally, the Muscle Doc is from here. Fuad is from here. Myself from here. There's a ton of other guys. Oh, like I said, I've named the other athletes that are from here, but I named the guys that you guys know, who you guys follow on YouTube. But, you know, man, it's nice. God damn. But that's, I was on, I think it was like 205 for 6, and I was like 16. I had all the damn, you know what I mean? All the skill. No grades. God damn it. Be a millionaire just because I want to be a fucking millionaire. I want to have, I know what a million looks like now. You know what I mean? I see Greg. You know, I seen the better half, you know, better part of 200,000 for myself. And like, I'm like, if this is what 148 to 200,000 looks like, and this is what I can do with this, I'm trying to, you know, I can do more. You know, I want to do more scholarship. I want to do scholarships, you know, or bursaries, entrepreneurship bursaries at St. Mary's. You know, I want to be able to do like seminars when all this shit gets better. I can just travel and get paid to do like, you know, seminars that are mental health, you know, strength and conditioning, you know, nutrition, all that together. It's not just, you know, and it's motivation, obviously, you know, and then take care of, obviously, my family and everyone around me, you know. That's one thing I hated, not hate. That's one thing that bugged me back in the day. I don't say bugged me, it motivated me. Shit. When you guys came back home from like college and you'd have like all your college gear on, like, you know, your colors and shit, or like we go out and like whoever was making it was able to buy drinks or, you know, take care of, you know, I was like, I want to be able to get there so I can take care of people. You know what I mean? That's what I like. That's what I wanted. I thought it was, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, oh man, he's buying everybody drinks, and you know, back in that's what I thought was value and success. Was when someone can go and take care of the people around them. California Avenue. This is where I grew up. Like, you see the difference of areas. I mean, like, my grandfather built this house over, my parents lived here before we were born, so this is the neighborhood. And this is the house coming up. It's crazy. So we got, you know, public housing, and then this house right here, 1310 California Avenue. This little house right here is where I used to live. Grandfather built that house. And that's it. And that's literally where everything began. So we basically went from here in this general area to South Windsor, and then from South Windsor to where, you know, left from there. And that's it. I graduated in that area, so this is it's just crazy. Just, you know, it's still here. That's a very great built house. So all those quotes I say all the time from my grandfather and whatnot, this is part of his hands. Still here, cemented in Windsor, so really pretty dope. What the back looks like. The back too, man. That's it. This is where we grew up. This house right here. same fence, same everything. Unless it's that. You can only imagine what, like, you know, you grow up thinking the norm, this is the norm, and then all of a sudden you in a place where it feels like everybody has everything. And then that's your motivation. Is like, you know what I mean? Your motivation is, I want to have everything like all these kids do. All my friends in school, you know, they had, you know, whatever gaming systems and stuff, or, you know, then when it came to, you know, them old enough to get, you know, cars or licenses, the parents are paying for their license, and then, you know, they got a license and they got a car, the parents pay for the cars. And you're like, what about me? That's the kind of attitude I had in my head. I remember thinking about that. I was like, I want that. You know, it seemed to me that success was like being in a place where you didn't really care about bills. I never heard my friends' parents complaining about bills. They had a bill, they paid for it. You know what I mean? I remember as, you know, not being, you know, issues, bills and this and that, that and the other. And it's just, you know, just the way we grew up. And then wanting my whole life to be in a place where I could live the complete opposite of this, and then have everything I wanted and needed. And as a kid, that was money. I was having a car, that was whatever. So I got into drug dealing. I got into, you know, any way I can make money to be able to get what I wanted whenever I wanted. That's what I did. And then quickly found out, I got nothing to show from any of that. And then, you know, and that's it though. But you gotta look back at this stuff. And I used to look back at this stuff and I used to get sad. I used to get like, you know, I spiral. Literally, this would trigger me. And now it's just like, it's something that I'm proud of, man. I'm so proud of this because this is what molded me into what I am right now. I would never have been able to do what I'm doing if I didn't have this. If I didn't grow up like this. If I didn't, you know, and I can't, butterfly effect, I can't change a thing. And I don't want to change a thing. Because I would not be here right now if I didn't go through this stuff. So this is a blessing. So man, anytime you find yourself kind of spiraling, whatever, it's always good to look back and see how far you came. Don't get stuck there wondering about the things that happened when you were there. Use that time to think about how far you've came and what things you've achieved and the goals you've accomplished. And that's what keeps you more motivated, is knowing that you succeeded when it was harder. You know? Now things are easier. Sky's the limit.